Nice. Wow. Ooh. Clunk.
Yeah. And you're probably the first, no, not probably, you are the first doctor who has told me that.
Right.
Every other doctor's like, oh, well, nothing's wrong with it, and they just focus on the low back, and I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure it all works together.
Right. All right, face up.
Oh.
Breathe, breathe, exhale, come on. I know. You did great. We're done.
Okay.
But it's common for there to be no arch or it be reversed to the other way. That's common, but common and normal are not synonymous. It's like, it's common for cars to have door dents. It doesn't make it normal.
So when I was probably around 13 or 14 years old, I was riding a bike, and that was the first time I ever experienced what I now know as sciatic pain. And so I started seeing a chiropractor around that age, and then as I got older, I started getting into fitness, and I got to the point where I think I was doing the what do they call that machine where you kind of strap yourself and you kind of go down for your glutes. I forgot what the...
Gotcha, yeah.
Some kind of glute exercise, and that was it. It was like I was done. So trying to deal with the pain, I went to get an MRI. They said, oh, you have an extruder herniation. That's kind of where it just compiled into that. Then I was in a car accident, and then it got worse, and so they decided to do the...
Okay, so the injury they said when you were doing that hamstring, that was, what age was that approximately? Is that late teenage?
21, 22?
So early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Was that mainly leg pain? Where exactly was the pain? Was that back pain or leg pain?
Low back and then down the right leg.
Down the right leg, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And was that burning, numbness? Was anything numb after that, or just
Oh,
hurting?
it just felt so swollen, like
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't even move the leg. It was very sharp. Couldn't lift the leg. I basically went home and I was laying on the floor and trying to figure out what I'm gonna do.
Right, so injury when you were 13 that then causes the disc to now age at a faster rate. Now early 20s, we have the disc hitting the nerves, and so you were in your late 20s when the microdiscectomy surgery was done. So for everybody not familiar, the disc material comes out, and obviously the nerves don't want to be touched, so the disc is hitting the nerve, and then we can remove the material. They usually will clean up some of the bone too at the same time, and we have some MRIs and x-rays we can kind of look at. This is the L4 disc here. These are, the spaces that we should be seeing. You can't even almost, it's really difficult. And I'll show you on the MRI, it gives it a lot more clarity here. So here's the MRI of the same picture. Look at you're facing the other direction, but these discs are already losing their water. They're becoming dried out. That's why they look darker. And then notice how these guys are all white and 18 years old, very young, very, very healthy, young discs at would be L5, 4, 3. At L2 and L1 and T12 and T11 that we can see, there's excellent looking, no evidence of injury. And then L3, 4 are, let's say, 50 years old. They're older than you are. And then the severe height loss, because the only reason a disc would ever get that thin is because of a discectomy. The material would be out here, and then the quandary I run through is that maybe we can try to bring it back in. The material doesn't actually want to be out there where the spinal cord is. This is your, obviously back your spinal canal and your spinal cord in there, cerebrospinal fluid. And if we can depressurize the front. So this is a tough situation. The ability to hit that wire is very easy. What we're not seeing here, and if I went laterally on your MRI, we'd see that hole that the nerve passes through. And so even though we've removed the disc object that's hitting the spinal cord, we can run into a stenotic event where the disc height being smaller makes the hole the nerve goes through on the side smaller, and so now we're running into a stenosis. And the nerve doesn't know any difference between a disc hitting it or a bone hitting it. Right. The nerve saying, so it might even feel similar. It's the same, something's hitting a nerve and I'm feeling something in my leg. And so what are you feeling today? What's the main thing you're feeling?
So what the thing that I struggle with the most is instability. And it's like a sensation of weakness. So even if I try to bend over, it always feels like I'm about to throw my back out, as the term goes.
I gotcha.
And then the right leg has always been a little bit weaker. I mean, obviously that was from having the injury for so long. I've lost strength on this side. So that's generally, and then going up my spine, it feels like the stacking is just not right. So I get a lot of rib pain on the left side and then right neck.
Okay.
It's like this whole compensatory.
All right. And is there pain down the right leg, or you say it just kind of feels weak, unstable?
Right. Right now, there's no pain going down the right leg. It's if I become active, then by the end of the day, I'll start to feel even the achiness, and even on the top of the foot. Sometimes I'll get like a little bit of, it feels like static, I call it.
Okay.
And it comes and goes. It's not constant.
This is the journey that we're going to go through. Is we're going to try to rehabilitate rehydrate as much as we can of that disc. And I'm not going to lie, it's difficult. The process, in my opinion, of when we operate on a disc is not one of freedom. It's usually one of, they're going to have to come back and at least do something in the future. So the question I ask is, why does your middle back not age, right? Why do we have accelerated aging at L5, which causes surgery? The 2 guys above are aged at a higher rate, and these 4 guys that we can see above haven't aged at all. And they're probably not paying attention. And I imagine most doctors are ignoring that area and saying there's nothing to see here. Unremarkable is the general term. And I go, it's not unremarkable that part of your spine isn't aging. And that, if we don't understand and work on those areas, we'll never understand why the damaged areas are damaged. And so we need to focus on, they're not aging because they're not working. They're not a part of your team. And so many doctors, most chiropractors are symptom doctors. We're going to be treating symptoms, and I really don't treat symptoms. I treat posture, which then causes symptoms. And if we can get to the root mechanical postural problem, we have a hope of preventing or slowing the stress on the areas that are already older than you are.
And you're probably the first, no, not probably, you are the first doctor who has told me that.
Right.
Every other doctor's like, oh, well, nothing's wrong with it, and they just focus on the low back, and I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure it all works together.
Right. No, it is. You can't, you'll be chasing a carrot. You'll be chasing effects. And if we're not getting to the cause, why is your middle back not working? Why is it not aging? Why does it look the same? If we had a picture of you at 18, an MRI, there was be a carbon copy. Those discs haven't aged.
It's almost like a frozen time.
It's frozen in time in a time capsule. And so, is that of significance? Why are you not chewing on these teeth, and you're excessively chewing on these teeth, and these teeth are all worn down to a nub, and these are being avoided? So maybe if we take some of the stress that are on these worn out teeth and put it on these non-worn out areas, that can save the ones that are. And that's the journey that I would hope to present. And there are tools that we can use called dental rolls that are used at home to continue this narrative, not just needing care on the table, but this is a starting point, and then it transitions to essentially care at home, where you can kind of, I call it talking. You can talk to your middle back and check on, is it working? And there's ways we can show you that. So you said your neck also. Tell me about your neck.
So this all started over the years. This was the first thing, and then now it's just kind of like compensatory aches and pains.
Gotcha.
And even, you'll see when you touch my neck, I have like a huge knot over here on the right hand side.
Let me have you just
jaw pain on the right.
Okay, go ahead and stand up. Right, shoulders elevated. You're in. There's injury. Let's see if we can. Definitely not centered here. And then we're dealing with about 2-3 inches. Your head's forward. So the more forward your head goes, many things happen. One, it's hard to lift your arms up. It's hard to take a deep breath in. And the more your head goes forward, the more stiff your middle back becomes.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So keep feeling. Now when I come back upright, it can soften again. So forward head posture and stiffness in the middle back are correlated. The stiffness in your middle back is contributing to why that area is not mechanically participating. And so ultimately, if we don't get the ear of your shoulder, any loosening we do to your middle back can only be temporary, because the forward head posture creates that tension in the middle back. So ultimately, the conversation needs to be getting your upper neck moving, getting the curve back in your neck, getting your ear hole, we call it the external auditory meatus, over the center of your shoulder. Go ahead and just keep facing this way, and just give me a general range of motion. So turn your head left. All right, go ahead and turn your right. Any pain when you do that? Limited to the right there.
Yeah, it's just limited.
Okay, any pain when you turn? No. Look up for me. Okay, and then look down. All right, any pain when you looked up?
No, it just feels like a tugging in my mid back.
Okay, yeah, right. Exactly my point there. Yeah. That middle back tension has to go away. Take a deep breath in for me. Go sit up. Head back for me. Deep breath in for me. Head down. Let it go. Deep breath in for me. Exhale. All right, there we go. Stay there for me. Okay. There is no benefit to anybody adjusting the parts of your spine that are older than you are. right? They're older because they're hypermobile. They're the ones that are doing all the work. And the worry that I have is that when you're cared for, how do we know that when you're being adjusted that we're not just putting more stress on the areas that are already overstressed, right? So we got to be careful. And when I would work on you, I would want to start far away, and then we're gonna, as your care progresses, we get closer, right? Because the ones that are damaged, the ones right adjacent, are the most responsible. But my worry is the ones that are most responsible, when I go in there to try to get them to work, it's possible I might be upsetting the ones that are injured. You follow me? So we got to be aware of that and be as, what do I say, careful as possible to not upset and further poke the areas that are already injured. We want to, but that doesn't discount the fact that there's a lot of benefit in working on the areas right next door to the ones that are injured.
Right.
Because those are the ones that I'm going, like L2, L1, those are the ones I really want to, beat up to remove stress from the lower back.
Okay. See, that's funny because every time I've gotten adjusted, the first thing they do is sideline rotary.
Oh my. I would be very careful with that adjustment. We got to be very... So if I put you on your side and rotate you, the first vertebrae they're going to move are the ones that are injured. They're the ones that are the loosest. They're the ones that are the oldest. They're the ones that are the most hypermobile.
That makes sense.
So how do we know we're not further loosening the ones that are older and further stressing them out? They're out of position. You're damn right they're out of position. They're injured. Do you understand?
Yeah.
If I break my right ankle, I'm going to be out of position putting my weight on my left ankle. Do you understand?
Yep.
It's the stupidest. It's subluxated. We have to adjust the subluxation. No, that's the compensation. You're looking at the alignment shifting because you have a pinched nerve.
Right.
Right? When you tilt,
trying to adapt.
your body's going to tilt and rotate and do all sorts of things that, I took my X-ray analysis. My X-ray analysis says you have a PRS at L4. Yeah, that's because he's got a disc injury. And of course the vertebrae aren't in the right position. So how do you realign the vertebrae? You can't. It has to be, the vertebrae will realign when your body doesn't want them misaligned. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. You don't force it, right? I think of it like the movie Inception, don't think about pink elephants. What are you thinking about? Pink elephants? You remember that scene, right? Mm-hmm. And he's like, the mind knows the source of the idea. It knows that I gave it to you. You understand that I told you to not think about pink elephants, and so it came from me. Do you understand? So it can't. Your body has to believe it has to be the best idea to not be, for that misalignment to not be there.
Right.
I can't force it to do it. Your body has to be like its own idea.
It's almost like we're trying to outsmart the body and we can't.
Right. It has to be, your body has to believe it doesn't need to be there. And that's how it'll be accomplished. Not by me externally doing something to you. And so how do we do that? Well, by restoring function to your middle back, the lower back will go on vacation. The lower back being on vacation makes it not be inflamed and hurting anymore, and then its compensation won't need to happen. Right? That will go away in an auto level as it's not needing to be avoided. Right? You get rid of the reason for the avoidance versus directly treating on the areas that are injured. Easy. There we go. There you go. Okay. All right. Chin up, I got you. Okay. So if we don't get your upper neck moving, I'm telling you that all of it is for naught. That any loosening I do, I'm going to repeat myself from earlier, any loosening I do to your middle back will just retighten back up again due to the amount of forward head posture you have. And believe it or not, there are nerdier chiropractors than me in chiropractic biophysics that they don't even have a conversation about the lower back until the ear's over the shoulder. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. They don't. Of course your lower back's injured. Your head's forward 3 inches. Do you understand? How would you expect it to not be injured? We have to get the external auditory meatus, your ear hole, over the center of your acromion from the side. The only way to change posture is the same way it was made wrong in the first place, which was stretching. Sitting, rounded forward, 12, 14 hours in a car. That makes sense. Time being rounded forward stretches the rubber bands on the back, the tight ligaments on the front. And so your default posture slowly, incrementally changes over the years. We're not getting to the source for why there's tension there.
Think of it like babies, when they're learning, they don't spend their time folding forward. They are always trying to lift their head up and activate their back.
Yeah, we got to be. They're really developing their curve. In the first year of life, we develop our neck curve, our lower back curve, and it's not valued, and we lose it. And there are consequences to losing the lordotic arches that we we naturally develop in the first year of life.
And we're losing it faster and faster with
That's
all
right.
this technology.
That's right. Amen. Yep, you got it. Way too much resistance to, for your neck to go to the right position. Your neck should want to be here effortlessly,
I
right?
can feel it. It's like, no.
Right. There's a resistance, and that resistance has to be molded out, has to be stretched out like clay or like metal, has to be reshaped, and so you have to first heat it up, make it pliable and soft, and then cast it into a new mold.
People post a lot of stuff on YouTube, man, but when I was watching your material, I'm like, finally, somebody who makes sense.
I know, I don't know, Yeah, right there,
It
big.
almost should be common sense, but people overcomplicate it.
It's interesting to me how chiropractic started out very zoomed in, right? Most sciences usually start off macro, and then as they evolve, they get more micro, right? You become more and more detailed at a smaller level, but chiropractic started out very micro. They had their faces pressed up against the x-rays looking at how each vertebrae was aligned to the vertebrae adjacent. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And then chiropractic biophysics in the 90s said back up 5 feet. Look at the whole person. You understand? Stop worrying about these minute misalignment differences between the vertebrae. There are global postural problems. The person's head's not even over their shoulders. Their shoulders aren't even over the hips. The hips aren't over the knees. You understand? And so the shift became global postural analysis, not, you understand, me needing a full set of x-rays of your spine to identify where your subluxations are. I look at you from the side and go, your head's 3 inches forward.
Right.
You understand? There's your problem. Like I said, it was the iPhone update came out in 1997. That's when the update came out, and it said you can't change posture through adjustments. And so either you understand that and embrace that. Not that I like that. You understand? I wish I could say to you, I'm going to realign you by adjusting you. You understand? I wish that were true. It's not. So it doesn't, just because I want it to be true or I believe it to be true doesn't make it true.
Well, it always comes back full circle. I mean, it means the us as individuals are still held accountable for our own health. We have to do things that sometimes we need assistance, which is
Right.
why people like you exist, and
Right.
but we have to take it and continue it.
Right. Okay. Let it go. There we go.
Nice.
Let's see if I think we're good on this side. Okay, a little bit deeper. Wow, same joint. That was the same joint moving a little deeper there. So you can see where they worked on them, and we're going to leave this area alone right here. Going to leave that alone. And his problem is right here on his right middle part of his back is the big knot right there. This probably was when he was a teenager, probably even before he was or late young teenager. This got injured and it quit on him, and then he's been overutilizing the lower back to do everything, and this part has been just observing and watching the game and sitting on the sidelines but yeah, right there. So I take it not much care has been done on this knot here?
Nope.
Right, okay. Right, and that's why we're not gonna, if we're not getting to the source, which is this restriction that doesn't really exist over here. I mean, it's all nice and soft as it should be on this side. And then you got a very large restriction, injury, and then restriction as a result of an injury. So how do I know it's an injury? Well, because I've taken the weight off your frame, right? That's why seated massages or upright massages are silly, because part of the tension, like I showed you when I was upright and I put my head forward, part of it can be postural, right? Part of tension in your back can be from alignment. But by laying down, I take that out of the equation, right? Now anything that's still tight is because of guarding. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
That the reason for why it remains tight, why is it still tight? You're not fighting gravity, right? You're laying down. relax your back. You're saying, I can't, Ed, this is as relaxed as I can get.
It's exactly what I usually don't lay on my belly a whole lot.
But do you see my point? It's
Yep.
still tight because your body believes that whatever happened to this area will happen again. And so it's put up walls and tightness in anticipation of another injury. And it's like done that for like the last 20 years. No, he's going to fall off the trampoline again. We got to
Gotta protect.
we got to protect, right? And so it's just lock this area down.
And generally, in the past when I've gotten worked on, I've told, therapists, don't touch the low back, please. 'Cause
Please, yes,
it already feels
excellent.
unstable. Like,
Yep.
I don't need you to weaken what's.
Thank you. Excellent. I'm glad you already see it. My dad was injured by care that was too much on his lower back, and so it's kind of what has created the kind of care that I use, is because any care on the areas that were injured only further went to aggravate them. So we've given relief to my dad and thousands of other patients by focusing on the uninjured areas, understanding why they've remained uninjured, and getting them back on the team. Right. Well, you can't power through nerve pressure. When you're hitting a nerve and that's going to be causing atrophy and weakness, there's no like mind over matter, right? We're hitting a nerve and then the functionality is going to, I can't do it.
That part that you're working on,
Yes.
it doesn't move. So.
Right. Yep. Underutilized. That's why it looks brand new. Your MRI looks brand new. You got 4 brand new vertebrae in here. And so because of it, I'm going to beat them up.
Untapped potential.
Right, untapped, right, yeah, well. How about this? How about this kind of narrative? How about we get the areas that are younger than you are to do more than they're supposed to do, right? Like, and then let's do that for like 20 years, and then we talk. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Let's see if we can get your...
those young whippersnappers to work.
Right, so when you're 40, maybe they look 30. You understand? We're going to catch them up to your age. Right, yeah, let's get them to do more than what their actual spec rating is. What they're meant to handle in terms of the textbook. Well, the T5 L1 vertebrae should do 5 degrees of rotation. Let's give them 8 degrees.
Exactly.
Let's make them do more. You've made L5 do double and triple for years. All right? So let's flip the narrative. That's where that daily narrative of you got to talk, to these guys in here, and has everybody got what they need? You all working fine? Anybody need a drink of water? You you have a conversation with these guys every day on the dental, and I think of your vertebrae like employees. You understand? Like you're talking to your employees. You have 2 guys down here that are like their legs are broken. You understand? They're like passed out, and you're like kicking them, like get up.
They're hitting retirement age and everything.
It's like, get up, Bambi. Get up. His legs are broken. And everybody's trying to like beat the dead horse. Like, come on, let's get him working more. No, leave that one alone. And these guys have just been sleeping and napping, and just wake them up. Oh, the voice of Bambi's father's like, get up, Bambi.
Yeah.
Get up, Bambi. The fire's coming, and he's like napping.
A shot.
Oh, that's right.
That's great.
Maybe if you didn't jump through the air like an idiot. You idiot, Bambi. The rifleman totally saw your awesome jump. So there was no like, it should have been like Bambi's revenge on the hunter. Anyway, I was like, didn't get revenge on the hunter. Okay, Bambi.
That sounds like more of the real life story.
Right. Okay, Bambi, there's that hunter that killed your mother. What we're going to do is I got these awesome sweet antlers here. And even though we're flight animals, we're going to impale him.
Yeah, that's the realistic version.
He thinks he's so sneaky in that tree stand. But he's got to come down every once in a while.
That's funny. I'm like trying to laugh, and this is like so sore.
Well, it's 2 ways through life, laughing or crying. Okay.
Exactly. Yep. It's Elena and my son Judah.
Oh, cool. That's my wife. One of her favorite names. Judah Ben Hur.
Yeah. find it.
Mm-hmm.
But good for you guys for doing this and providing the education online, because for so many therapists out there and so many body workers, but I feel like there's like a underutilization of education for understanding how it really works.
You just got purple fast.
I mean, so smooth over here. Feel the difference. It's smooth, and then this, whew, right in here, all lump. There you go.
Or scraping is so
Isn't that cool?
so underutilized.
Mhm.
Such a great tool.
1,000 years old. They've done it for a long time.
Yeah. Something that stood the test of time. You would think it would work, right?
Right. Yep. Yeah, but our world loves set it and forget it.
Yep.
We love.
It doesn't plug in and do it for you.
That's
so
right.
I don't want to use it.
That's right.
Press the button and walk away.
That's right. Just like Napoleon Dynamite, just break the wrist, walk away. Break the wrist.
I love that movie.
Jeez. It's that simple, folks. And you too can learn all this with my 8-week program. That was a ripoff.
It's like sometimes I do my for dinner,
Mm-hmm.
Tito, you fat lord, come to dinner.
Tina, get over here and eat your dinner. That's right.
That's funny.
It's Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre. They're
That's
right up there.
Amen. Big one right there. I mean, it's like the movie Batman with Two-Face here. This one side's all like, clean, the other side's all mangled. It's like a tale of two stories. Like,
That's hilarious. My wife's gonna be like, "How'd it go?" Well, my back got likened to Two-Face.
That's right.
She's gonna look at it later and be like, "What the heck?"
One side's all beat up, one side's all clean. It will require a higher level of attention because of the discectomy. There's just less stuff in there total, right? And so our ability to rehabilitate is our hands are tied a little bit more with the dental, but nobody really knows. Until you start doing it, we don't know what the long term are. We don't really know how much stress that lower back can handle until we try to remove as much as possible and see if that'll work.
But see, I welcome the change because the whole focus has been right there on L4, L5, S1.
Yeah, no, leave it alone.
I'll get my thought in a
No,
second.
you're fine.
It's okay,
I
it's
don't
okay.
it's no pressure.
Wow, nice. Right there. It's just going to emulate. It's going to just feel, hopefully as close to, elbow or this kind of pressure that we're going to use on the floor in a second. And we're going to put it right here, maybe higher. We might start higher. Does that make sense? Here.
Uh-huh.
And then eventually the ultimate goal is to have that dental roll right here. This section here needs to. And we're going to use how upset the lower back is as our gauge to know how long and how deep we can go. If the lower back starts to get upset, right, if you start feeling it down here or down the leg, we got to move higher, right? But if you just feel it where I'm pressing in, thumbs up, hang in there. Make sense? Right? We want to isolate this area and loosen it without upsetting that injured area. They found within 10 days of a joint not moving, it starts to build up crystals, sandpaper, grit on the surface of the joint. And so very quickly joints can become frozen if we don't move them. It's the principle of frozen shoulder that can be usually talked about with the shoulder. The glenohumeral joint becomes frozen if you injure your shoulder and then don't move your shoulder. But that principle can be applied to any joint in your body. When we have an injury and we don't move the joint afterwards, it becomes frozen. And so that's essentially your diagnosis from Dr. Ed. It's
Yeah.
frozen mid-back.
What's that saying? Motion is lotion.
That's right, motion is lotion, and the vertebrae here have positive feedback, became stiffer and stiffer.
And see, I feel like it also affects digestion.
Absolutely, yeah, your stomach, intestines, absolutely. The nerves that leave your back essentially shut down the digestive system. So these nerves are sympathetic nerves, and so the vagus nerve is your wine and dine, your rest and digest nerve, and so these are like the brake pedal to your digestive system. Gastric paresis, immotility. Yeah.
Oh wow.
This is all purple here, but the whole right side is, this is all jammed. You can see where all the bending, you have to bend down here, and this becomes like one solid block. All right. Press back with your elbow into my elbow. There we go. There we go. Press back. There we go. Go ahead and tilt your head to the right for me. Go ahead and tilt right, tilt right. Okay. Go ahead and tilt left for me.
Whoa.
Tilt left. Good.
Whoa.
Good, there we go. There we go. I got you. It's okay. Good. Got your leg, here we go. Nice, wow. Ooh. Clunk.
Yeah.
Let's just check that neck one more time. Go ahead and turn your head left. Yeah, and right. How's that feel
Oh
now?
wow.
My right's much better.
A lot easier to turn, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, 60% of that motion should happen from your upper neck. So now we got it moving. Not all the bending is going to happen in the lower neck, and then that tension in the lower neck makes the head go forward. So now I've got you all loose. I want to, as soon as possible, I'm going to start showing you how to bend back and stretch. Now I have about this much material behind your head, and we're going to start taking that out.
Wow.
But
Okay.
eventually your head needs to be on the floor. This is the large lumbar dental. They made an orthotic that emulates my thumb.
So you want me to try to completely relax, right?
Well, your goal is to just relax into the floor. Yes, sir. If it's too much pain, then I can reduce it. If you can't handle it, you okay?
No, I just feel my body trying to guard. So
Correct,
that's
yeah.
why-
You got to let it go. Doing inversion, though we may feel better temporarily, we're further loosening what's loose, and we're aiming the spine in the wrong position.
Yeah, I don't do well with traction. Like the traction tables.
No.
I won it one time
Please.
and I was in so much pain afterwards.
All you're doing is further poking the wound.
Yeah, don't
If-
poke the bear.
If you feel discomfort, I understand if the lower back already feels upset when you get on a dental roll, but if it starts getting worse, you need to let me know. You understand? We either reduce the depth or we move higher on your back. And this is the closest emulation to care, you understand, that we have that allows you to retain some of the work that we did on the table. You can do this at home. The more you're cared for, the more adjustments I have, the more you can just do this at home, the less you need that on the table, the less you need either my brother or myself.
It makes a lot of sense because when I used to, I would grab a medicine ball
Yes.
and to do core, and I would grab the ball and rotate side to side, throwing it against the wall.
Yes.
Could never do that either because it felt like I was constantly pulling a rib.
Right. Right. Well, you don't have. See, it's difficult or impossible to injure one vertebrae if you have the whole team working. They all have to be injured together. The only way you can injure one segment is to isolate it, to lock the other areas and allow one area to do everything. So when you're rotating, playing golf, whatever, exercises, you don't have your whole spine of 24 vertebrae showing up. And that's what these stretches and the dental is designed to retain and restore the mobility of your middle back. What'll happen is this will get more difficult. When your back goes in, this was easy, Ed, now it's actually getting harder. The 15th time I did was harder than the third time I did it, right? It's because you're actually doing it properly.
I
You
got
weren't, actually doing it properly the first 10 times because this was so far out that you got to use this guy to bring this in, and then the neck guy becomes, to me, more effective. Okay. And that's
And
it.
do you play with the level of it? Like, do you start
Correct.
kind of where you started and kind of move your way up?
You have a good range of at least 6 inches. You know, you have the bottom of your shoulder blades being probably the absolute highest part you can go to. I had you about right here.
Okay.
You know, eventually, yes, we're going to go to L1, you know, with it. You know, maybe, you know, I just want to be really careful. If you start feeling anything in your lower back, we go higher,
Okay.
right? And the journey will change a month later, and I can go lower than where I started. The main thing is that that whole section that's all bruised on your middle back, that all has to be loosened up. I'm targeting L1, T12, T11, T10. Those are the areas that I want. The thoracolumbar junction, we need to get those areas working. And mobile.
See, he said thoracicular lumbar junction. Do you know how many times I've mentioned that to other physicians? And they're like, oh,
Right. What
I'm
about?
like, I'm pretty sure that joint needs to move.
Well,
Needs to work properly.
It's probably the weakest part naturally, in my opinion, because you have a transition. It's like we have two pieces of metal where you weld them together. You understand? It's the transition from ribs to no ribs. And when you look at T12 and L1 specifically, they kind of look like hybrids, like a Toyota Prius. They got a gas motor and an electric motor. They kind of look like a thoracic vertebrae, but they also kind of look like a lumbar vertebrae. And in my opinion, when the spine is injured when we're young, that's the first part that gets injured because it's the most weak area.
Yeah.
If there was any weakest, who's the weakest link, that would be it. And so that gets locked down first because it was the first area that got injured. So all your oldest injuries are in there because that was the first responders when you were a kid to a fall out of a tree or a fall off a bicycle. And so the middle back got injured and then you walked it off, kid. Walk it off. And so you just healed compensating, you healed tight, and then it went away. It didn't go away, you avoided it and locked it down, and then 10 years later, the effects of that lock caused this to be overstressed, and now you're feeling the compensatory pains from this area that quit on you. Yeah, definitely. It's like, you're only about 1 inch now. You said you came in about 2.5, 3 inches forward, and you're about 1 inch now from where you started. Now that's gonna exactly, those proprioceptors, all the, you know, you're holding your head in a different position, but it begins by we gotta get this in and then mold that back slowly.
Yeah, no, sounds great. Thank you.
Pleasure, my friend. Very good.
The very first time I can remember being injured, I was working out. So let me back up.
Yeah.
I played volleyball in college.
Okay.
I used to work out like every single day, and I'd always push myself, try and lift as much weight as possible. So it was mid squat when I felt like my back like tense up, and
Okay.
that was the first time I can really remember
So
injuring it.
College age.
Yeah.
And you felt lower back,
Yeah,
the glute.
lower back, and I was out of commission for like a few days.
Okay.
And I did it a couple more times. I think I just never really let it heal properly.
Gotcha. Any treatment at that point? Had you had anybody see you? Any pictures, anything like that, or just kind of just
No.
took rest and took it easy?
At my trainer, she did the stim,
Okay.
you know,
Yeah.
with heat. I stretched it a lot and just rest.
Okay.
And, you know, I was able to get back out there.
All right. And nothing was down the leg at that point?
Not that no.
And do you have anything down the leg now, or
I don't know.
just the lower back?
It's just lower back. I constantly have to like move it around and stretch it, or it gets what makes it worse is standing for
Okay.
too long.
Gotcha.
Because after college, I bartended for 6 years. So I noticed that, moving stuff, I'll have to like constantly stretch it by bending over. It gets bad.
Okay. When you're bending, when you're coming up and down, obviously these joints, like your fingers and your hand, the joints are moving, and so they look like little handshakes. And when you bend, they move. And the joints are loaded with pain fibers, and so when you injure one joint, your body will just sort of tilt away to the other side to take pressure off the joint capsule. And so your body will maneuver and fidget and move things around. That's why when you're standing, you're saying you have to adjust or twist or try to, like almost like holding an object that's hot. You know, you're having to move it around because it starts to burn if it stays in one spot for too long. I don't treat necessarily symptoms, I treat posture. And if we have the right posture, we don't have symptoms. That symptom is a result of there's not enough curve in your back, or this is too loose, and those both go usually hand in hand together. When you overwork a knuckle, your body will either tighten up the area to protect it, or again, the muscles are working hard to hold you in a crooked position to find relief.
Feel a pinch like down
Just
here.
right there in the lower back.
Yeah.
See, your middle back, I know, warm it up here. Your middle back should feel soft. If the middle back is moving, then not all the motion is going to happen at the bottom. If that makes sense.
Yes.
So we're going to check in a minute. You know,
Okay.
the chest has these ribs that connect to the front, and they solidify or make it more likely that the chest is going to be stiffer than the lower back. The lower back doesn't have any ribs. And so quite often we become hypermobile down here because the chest is prone to becoming frozen or tight. Not many things in life, driving a car, working at a desk, right? We don't really need a lot of range of motion in our daily lives. And so if we don't use it, we lose it. We lose the functionality of our chest.
And I have a 2-year-old, so like lifting or playing with her, I find a lot of trouble with that. So
All right. When you were saying you're squatting, do you remember where it was exactly when you felt the back hurt?
I was like, I think on my way down, and then I felt like the
tightness get in there?
something. I felt it. And I was like, oh god, that was not good.
Okay. Was it sharp?
Yes. Yeah, sharp pain.
So when we're able to point to the pain like that easily, it's the knuckle. That's the joint in there. It's just
Okay.
a joint that's working too much.
Yeah.
I'm just going to look at your range of motion. So just look straight forward like this and just turn your head left for me. Any pain when you turn your neck?
No.
Any pain in your head turn right for me? Just going to get a normal range of motion here.
No.
Okay, look straight forward, then just look up for me. Any pain when you do that?
No.
All right.
A slight pinch, but nothing.
Pinch where? In the back or the neck?
No, in the neck.
It pinches at the bottom because, again, it's most likely the upper neck is tight, and so all the folding will happen in the bottom of the neck. Very commonly, the upper neck gets tight, again, because of the 2-year-old and because of looking down. This tightens our upper neck, and then the lower neck becomes like a piece of paper. If you keep folding a piece of paper back and forth in the same crease, it gets weaker.
Yeah.
It becomes injured, and so the lower neck becomes our primary. Take a deep breath in for me. We'll sit up, and then let all the air out as best you can. Let all the air out. Relax your chest. Relax your chest. Deep breath in. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I got you. Let the air out. Relax your chest. Head back. Relax. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. Deep breath in. One more for me. Deep breath in one more time.
Okay. Oh, get up.
Okay, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Lay your head back for me. There we go. It's okay. Yeah, we've got work to do.
Okay.
Your chest, we don't say, it's just the joints in there, that's the reason, right?
Okay.
If your middle back was supple and loose, I'd be confused.
Okay.
It's this area being, it's not totally frozen, but there's definitely resistance in there. I don't need it to click. What I want it is to feel soft. I want, like when you felt my back. I've been adjusted since I was a baby. My dad's a chiropractor. I'm not a good,
Yeah.
example in terms of like what's common. It's common for the chest to get stiff. When you were at your chiropractor, do they hug you like that? No click, no.
He tried, but nothing happened.
Nothing happened. Okay.
Yes.
So then you went to an even milder device. Okay. Jeez. All right, I got you.
He was doing it right, but.
Oh my, we got work to do. All right. All right, take a deep breath in for me. Just relax your back, relax your chest. I got you. Here we go. All right, other side for me. Yeah, I got you. Take a deep breath in, look over the shoulder, and then just exhale. Easy, relax your chest. All right, base up for me.
Oh. Is that normal?
Those are big joints down there. They're gonna make big sounds.
I correct my lower back a lot, or I try to, but it's not never like that.
Yeah, what we're trying to do is adjust the joint below. I was trying to show you on the model that SI joint.
Yeah.
It's why my hand is down here. We're trying to loosen the sacroiliac joint. Most commonly, if you're going to pop your own spine, and these are people at home watching, they're only going to pop the ones that are loose. And this is what I give caution to, is that if we keep popping the ones that are loose, then the disparity between what's tight and loose gets larger. Does that make sense? Because
Yes.
you're not loosening what's tight, and we're only loosening what's loose. And this is why we say the word adjustment. Ed, you're not popping the area that I think is injured and where it's hurting. Correct, we're going to leave that alone. It can't be helped by further treatment. It needs to be left alone, like a cut on your skin. It's not any benefit to
Okay.
go messing with it. We will give relief to it, I promise, but we have to take the stress off of it. All right. Big bump right here on the right side of your neck. Yeah. Okay. Nobody's worked on. I got a knot here on the left upper.
The left is a little sore.
Just right here on
Oh,
this.
yeah, I can feel that.
See, there's no bump here on the
Oh, I
left.
feel it.
And there's a big.
Oh, is the sore on the left?
Your body's
Because-
moved bones around. You're
Okay.
saying your body, way before we have symptoms, years, your body will just. There we go. I have no neck pain. You're saying your body will tilt and rotate to find relief, and your head's crooked, or your head's over to the side. It's because your body's trying to get into find a position of relief. So if I tilt you to the right, I'm going to roll you right about here. Your bones are level. About 5 or 10 degrees, I had to tilt you to the right. Does that make sense? To make the bones in the neck level. This bump on the right side is telling me that there's an injury on the right, that your head just goes over here to get away from, and then the bone kind of sticks out on the right because your head's tilted away. I use the massage as a way to make the spine limber, to get a better adjustment. I find that people might say, Ed, I adjust better if you massage me first, and that's true, but you shouldn't require a massage to get your bones moving. Now, at the beginning of your care, we're going to massage a little bit because I know you haven't been adjusted properly. So we're going to loosen you up a little bit. But eventually, everything should move with no coercion. No, it shouldn't have to require a 10, 15-minute massage to get your bones working. They should just be working all the time.
So to maintain this, would I need to continue appointments?
The goal is going to be to get you to a place where everything moves. My job is to get all the vertebrae moving. Chiropractors taught for about 100 years that adjustments change posture, and I wish that were true. It's not true. Stretching is how your posture is fixed. Stretching is how it was made misaligned, and so I'm going to teach you at the end of the visit how to do some stretching, and that becomes essentially like your toothbrush. You care for yourself at home, and we'll talk about that, but you're doing great. We're going to start with this right side. Got you very, very gentle.
Okay.
Okay. Easy. There you go. All right.
That was easy.
Don't do bad. Yeah. He's nice. He's not so mean.
I thought that was going to be worse. No, it was
No,
good.
we're not trying to pop every bone.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not everybody watches these crazy adjustments, and I go, it disheartens me because I'm going, guys, there was no attempt at moving just a couple of them. You just popped every single bone, and when we do that, we have a high chance of making the spine more imbalanced. Right, the areas that were loose got even looser. We're trying to target certain areas and actually leave alone other areas.
Do it again.
I said we're gonna make your fiance a believer. No, I'm a believer, not a trace. I was skeptical at first about this whole adjustment thing. I know. Not try. Very, very gentle. Again, same thing. It's okay. I got your head. Relax here on this side here a little bit. It's okay. Beautiful. Okay. All right. Yeah, the activators and they're not a bad, I guess, adjustment. It takes a lot more treatment, in my opinion, to arrive at the place that I want to arrive at. I want your spine to be clean. I want it all to be moving, and I want you being able to stretch without difficulty. And I find this is the fastest path to getting you there. That's why I do it. So I find that we can. Once you're able to stretch at home, your need for me goes down. Good.
From your videos, I've seen different ways to stretch, so I've been trying to work on that at home.
Yeah. The first goal is it's called extension stretching or mirror image stretching. So because of the 7 hours or more time that we spend bent forward, we have to start arching backwards. Now, the worry is, Dr. Ed's worry is that if I ask you to arch back, you're not going to bend evenly. You're going to bend primarily where you're loose. And this is why I don't just, can't just go on QVC and sell stretches, right? You can't just put lay people that haven't been adjusted onto stretches because they'll just hurt themselves and sue me. You can't just polish a car that's dirty. You have to first wash it, right, to make it clean so that when you're polishing it, you're not scratching it. And similar, there's a prep you have to do to the spine. So just one child? Plan on having more? What's the
We definitely want another one eventually.
All right.
When we're ready.
Okay, all right. So as odd as this might feel, this is where your neck belongs. This is where we're trying
Really?
to... Yes, I know.
Okay. Is this normal for most people?
I mean, your eyes will be straight forward, but the bones will be curved in the neck. The neck should have a 45-degree arch in it. That's normal. It's common for there to be no arch, or it be reversed to the other way. That's common, but common and normal are not synonymous. It's like, it's common for cars to have door dents. It doesn't make it normal. They didn't come from the factory that way. Somebody injured them, so it's the bad alignment is common because at 5 to 20, when we're growing, when our spine was soft, we're becoming shaped like the seat that we were placed in. I have kids coming in 14, 16 hours a day. Most teenagers are sitting. I ask them how many hours they sit. 14 to 16 hours of their day is forwardly rotated. and no one's talking about it. No one's bringing that up as maybe this is why people are having disc injuries in 30s, because nobody was having a conversation of spinal health when they were 10. If I'm going too hard, please let me know. I'm going to keep.
Well,
Okay, if I'm going too hard, that.
it's good.
Okay, we got to loosen this up. To make it supple, 26 is full skeletal maturity, and so all the growth plates harden at 26. It's not impossible, but it just becomes harder to change where your body wants to be. It's like your body's created habits, and now we have to try to break those habits. But yeah, right there. When you're bending back and when you do a squat and when you do exercises, this part of your back needs to start bending. Your diaphragm, your lats, your trap, quadratus lumborum all attach right in here. So this area becomes essentially the area that, it's like the anchor point, the area that locks when we tighten our chest. It's part of why when you're exercising, you're supposed to exhale when you're lifting, right? Because exhaling relaxes your diaphragm. So we're trying to relax this area, not let it become as stiff as possible. That makes the lower back injuries more prone to happen. Keeping this area supple up here. Okay. Right there. Okay. All right. Probably nobody's really even rubbed you here before, huh?
No.
Yeah, okay. So usually the opposite middle is the cause of the lower problem. So if the left lower hurts the right middle, it makes sense. The opposite side is tighter, and that allows the left side to compensate and overwork. So essentially, the stiffest part of your back is right here on the right middle, and then you can really feel it right here. Big difference between here and, everything's elevated right here.
Oh, yeah.
Or your fiance will watch the video and go, yeah, no thanks. Oh my gosh. What did he do to her back? The dolphin down here staring at it like, what? I think I got it. It's over here, guys. Dolphin's like, it's right there. He's even pointing. Sorry.
Wow.
Thanks a lot, Ed. Like Lassie. What is it, Lassie? Wait, Sally's in the well? It's right over here. Okay. That's not funny at all, Ed. I like my dolphin. Don't.
Oh, that's dolphin.
There we go. Okay. Yeah. Right in there. Just gonna start a little bit, but yeah, right there. Right there is where the tightness is, and then again, the lower back, you just bend here too much. I'm trying. We'll see if I don't know if I can even make a mark over here. Or maybe
That's
maybe.
good.
But right, because it's already clean.
Yeah.
It's already moving. It's only in the tight. I'm trying. Let me see if I can. I don't think there's any. It's only when there's a blockage, like on your right side, will that mark come out. And
So it's not that bad.
you feel the difference? You feel it? Yeah,
Yeah.
This is more normal. This is what it
Yeah.
should feel like. And then,
Oh, wow.
what did you do
That's crazy.
right there on that? It's all low on this side. This side's already closer to home in its position, and then because this is elevated, then the left lower down here at the bottom, down here, overworks because this is frozen. And so when we're stretching, one of the first things that we need to be able to do is we need to be able to push here without you feeling it down here. Commonly, they're connected, and so sometimes this is so stiff that even when we push on this moves, and that is a sign that we really can't even stretch yet safely. We want to be able to push here and only this area move and not another area. Does that make sense? They should move independently. But yeah, for the people at home that usually antagonize against this, I can't make a mark on your left if I tried. There's nothing here
Oh,
to...
wow. I thought it always came up with a mark.
You see this dark, kind of purplish, it's all stagnation and stiffness, and when an area is moving, it actually cleans itself. So the tissue washes itself through mobility. So an area that's already moving won't have any marks in it because it's already, self-flushing, self-cleaning. It's the term subluxated that maybe some people are familiar with. It means less than a dislocation. Sub meaning less than, luxation meaning dislocation. So a subluxation means less than dislocation. The bone's in the garage, but the car's in the garage, but it's crooked, right? It's not in there straight. It's the bones are crooked or rotated, and the medical world thought we were talking about dislocations. No, it's a subluxation.
And how does this happen?
Yeah, again, it's injury. Which, remember how the front side of your spine has no feeling, the back has all the feeling.
Okay.
So your body will naturally move the weight to the non-sensitive structures. That's why every elderly person is rounded forward, right?
Oh,
They don't do it because they think it looks cool, right? They do it because it gives relief, right? Just a cool way to walk when you're 70, all Quasimodoed. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm in pain. It hurts to stand upright, therefore I'm just going to round forward to get relief. And so you do that for a long period of time until the discs are in trouble. All these bumps in here, these all need to be smoothed out.
Holy cow.
Gee whiz!
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Just teasing. So bad. I know. All right. You start quoting Napoleon Dynamite or something. Jeez! Come over here, Napoleon. Come over here and show me. I'm training to be a cage fighter.
Oh my god. I don't get that. That's fun.
I know. All right. I know. Yeah, right on here. Ooh.
Yeah, this side's way worse.
Crunchy time over here, yeah. If I didn't know better, you had an injury on the right side of your back, and then just it existed. Maybe it was an injury back when you were in college, and then you just kind of leaned to the left to adapt. That's the right side of your back.
Oh, wow.
And that's what I'm talking about. And I know that your symptoms are down here
Uh-huh.
on the waistline on the left, but the right middle has all that.
That's
And like
crazy.
I said, I comb that as much as I comb the right, but that's the stagnation that's in there. And then,
That never happens.
so these are the,
Oh, wow.
All right, I got your arms, relax your chest. Relax your arms, I got you. We're just gonna arch up and stretch for a second. We're gonna stretch. There you go. See how your back doesn't want to arch back. We gotta start practicing arching back. There you go, good. Breathe. Relax your back. Here we go. Exhale. Good. Breathe. Exhale. Come on. I know. You did great. We're done.
Okay.
Can't help a sprained ankle by further spraining it. It needs to
Yeah.
just be iced and stabilized and stiffened. Your lower back is hypermobile, and any adjustment or any manipulation done to it just ends up making it more mobile. I'm going to try to teach it. You get ice on it, put a back brace on. That makes sense. Things to stiffen it up. Ultimately, if we don't get the alignment fixed, which we're going to talk about in a second, it'll just any treatment is all temporary. There's no long-term benefit until we start getting the arch back in your back. Yeah. Not the side joint. I know that's a joint right there.
Tickles a little.
So this joint will become more sore postpartum because of childbirth. And nobody told you that
Yeah.
after childbirth, we have to do things to kind of put this joint back where it belongs, or at least help it heal properly so it's not so sore afterwards. I know they didn't tell you, but that's
No.
partly why this is so tender and jumpy in here. Okay. Yeah, this is just jammed here. I know, okay, easy. See how the knuckle's starting to grow? Because there's too much stress on this knuckle, like a muscle grows, the joint will grow. And so we want the weight on your heel. This is what the high heel does, is it shifts the weight of your body to your toes, right? Because you're on your toes essentially. And so long term, just balance it a little bit. As this knuckle grows, it's just about 70-80% of your weight belongs on your heel.
Okay. Okay.
And we have toes for balance. They're not designed to hold weight all the time. If you make them hold weight all the time, they're going to grow. Okay. Okay. Easy, easy.
Ooh.
Yeah. Action ankle, easy, easy, everybody. Oh, clunk.
I never cracked my ankle.
Ta-da! Fingers use sort of traction. We don't need to be bending them or just straight.
So it's bad to crack your own.
Well, over time, if we continually pop a knuckle, if it's stressed out, especially if it hurts when you do it, the joint will grow. And again, that's what they're calling arthritis.
Really?
If you people ask me, popping knuckles cause arthritis. The answer is no, but repetitively popping an injured knuckle will make the joint adapt to that stress that you're putting on it, and it will try to grow bigger. Like a muscle at the gym, you're lifting weights, your muscles tell you to stop, you say shut up, and you keep lifting weights, they grow.
Yeah.
It's an adaptation to the stress that the... There we go. You're fine, there we go. Wow, you've injured your elbow before?
I don't
You
think
injured this?
so.
No?
Why?
Wow, it's pretty stiff.
I don't think so.
I think volleyball hits or,
Volleyball, yeah.
who knows? Put any stress on these joints.
Huh.
Like your ability to straighten is...
Yeah, somebody told me that before.
Let me check that. Let me see the
But
other
it
one. Just
wasn't.
curious.
I couldn't-
Relax. This is more normal. Feel there's like sponginess here? Feel there's like a sponge?
Yeah.
I reach like a spongy end field there. This one I'm hitting a wall. Watch.
Huh. Yeah.
I reach a solid...
It doesn't.
Doesn't want to bend as much at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been just landing on your elbow hard. You
Yeah.
know, who knows? I'm just saying the...
Interesting.
You rub that a little bit. The joint. I'm like a joint whisperer. I talk to the joints. You've injured this joint before. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, well, the joint told me. The joint's like, yes, she did. She's not telling you what she did to us.
Oh my gosh.
The horse whisperer. The dog whisperer. The joint whisperer. You know, what happens
So
is-
this will help it give it.
Well, we want to work. You're definitely, I would say you fractured. I mean, your ability to straighten your arm.
Am I? I don't think so.
Yeah, it's solid. If you want
I don't know.
to, it should get to like a see how
Yeah.
there's like it gets a sponginess there at the end. It's yours like hitting the.
I wonder why.
You've injured it. Something's happened over here because your left is definitely. You can feel the difference is way more normal on your left side. Probably tied to this, or I don't know.
Ooh,
That
maybe.
right side of your chest is much looser. Think of that movie Batman with the, don't bring up Harvey Dent. The one side's all clean
Oh, yeah.
and one side's all, thanks, Ed. It feel nice and spongy there.
Uh-huh.
All right. So as odd as this might feel, this is where your neck belongs, and we have to cast your neck back into this position. So this is the arch that your neck belongs in. And the idea would be at the end of the day, we spend 20 minutes laying on the floor next to the TV, and you just lay down and take a nap and take a break for a minute and let your neck mold to the device. That's it.
So longer than 20 minutes is okay?
So you reach about 99% benefit after 20, so I would advise you to get off at 20, go do something. If you have more time, then after 10, 20 minutes, do another 20-minute session.
Okay.
But you kind of reach, it's like taking a rubber band and stretching it and then letting it contract for a minute and then stretching it again. The more times you stretch that ligament, the more it becomes supple and not tight. It's actually the ligaments on the front part of your body that have never been stretched, because we don't spend much time like this, but we do spend a lot of time, especially years of bartending and kids and work and computers and phones. We're inundated with forwardly rotated positions, and so I need you working on what you're not good at or what you're not accustomed to spending much time in. Bring your knees left. Yep, stretch. And I have a book behind you because I don't want you to get too mad at me. And eventually this,
What is it?
I know,
yeah,
reducing the
okay.
depth.
Okay.
They make a bigger device. Eventually you should be on,
Really?
I know.
That's okay.
You're on a smaller version with a book behind your head. What we're going to get to is a device that's even bigger.
This is nice.
And then this becomes the way we level your back out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try. Let's see if you get too mad at me. Head back, come on. Head back, come on.
Okay. Oh.
Relax your chest. I know. Relax.
Okay.
If it's too much, I'll put that back behind you, but
Yeah, it's hard to imagine anything bigger than this.
yeah, I know.
I can feel it more on this side.
Yep. Yep.
That's my left.
That's, well, you're pressing the right side now. When you rotate your knees to the right, there's more pressure on the right side of your back. The left has to stretch,
Yeah.
but the right has to compress.
I see.
Yep. Roll back on your back.
Okay.
Lay down, lay down. Lay down. There you go. Pull that out.
Oh.
Take a break for a second. I know.
Ooh. Can I do this?
Well, no, but it's okay. When you bend forward, you take the weight off the joints.
I screwed up. Yeah.
I'm trying to avoid this being the only position. Your back has it feels like this. It's all tight up here. And so, see how I'm bending? It's not moving? Keep feeling.
Yeah.
There's no mobility where you're touching.
Yeah.
All the bending is happening at the bottom. And I'm not blaming you. That's why you want to.
I
Look
know.
up for me.
Okay.
See how that feels. Look at
Oh,
the
look
ceiling.
up. Oh, okay.
Yeah, how's that feeling now?
Good.
Yeah,
Great, actually.
I know. We're gonna, so day by day, we'll get you to the right place. But start reminding your middle back to not be
So-
just rounded
Okay.
to the chair.
So this is how I should be sitting.
Well, with some support, yes. You shouldn't be sitting, rounding to the chair, legs crossed, just totally.
That's what I do.
I need your back moving well. Quickly throughout my adjustments, we'll have more mobility of your chest, and then your lower back's going to become a thing of the past. You're not even going to feel it anymore. But right now, I can't change how loose your lower back is. I can only make other areas more likely to move, and so the area that's injured will get a vacation. It's a process of putting your spine in a position where it now can heal, and it's a joint injury. Your diagnosis is what we call facet syndrome. There's a knuckle that's sprained in your lower back. That's all it is.